The service has passed through 14 different governors, out of which 9 were military governors and 5 civilian governors. But the past 5 years has been most impactful in the history of the civil service. I want to go ahead to roll out. When we came on board in 2011, this was what we met as a block in the secretariat. Unattractive, uninviting. And directly after that, we had to go into a process of transformation. And this is what we now have. With landscaping, appropriate landscaping. This is the new secretariat. This is the area view of the secretariat. You can now see, when we came on board, what we met was carpets. The 903 offices in the secretariat were carpeted, and the carpets were not good in terms of health. So we had to go into a process of transformation. And what did we do? We had to tile the entire 903 offices. You can see them tiled with state-of-the-art seats and tables. You can see them. This is what an office looks like in a typical office looks like in the secretariat. Take a look at it. This is another view of the secretariat complex. This is walkway. When we came on board, there were no walkways. The entire 10 blocks were not linked with walkways, with the result that workers move around under the scorching sun and under the rain. We had to introduce the walkways. You can see the walkways linking the 10 blocks. Workers' welfare. Imo State is in the internet as the first state to pay 20,000 naira minimum wage. That is true. It is true also that the state government also pays clothing allowance to civil servants. It is also true that we conducted training to upgrade and actualize the competencies of our civil servants within the period. Go ahead. When we came on board, our civil servants were relaxing on shanties. This was where they used to go and have their relaxation, where they go for their lunch. But directly after that, we had to build a world-class lounge. You can see the lounge. Please bring the next slide. You can see the lounge. This is the outside of the lounge. Look at another view of the lounge. That is the inside of the lounge. And I take this opportunity to invite all of you. Please, they serve the best dishes east of the Niger and north of Limpopo. You can see the inside of the lounge. You can see another section of the inside of the lounge. Now, one critical aspect of that lounge is that it is independently powered. You can see the solar power. It is also independently watered. You can see the water tank over there. Next. When we came on board, there was no dress code in the state. Civil servants could go to work in any form of attire. You know, people are dressed most times by the way they dress. So what did we do? These were civil servants. These were civil servants before we came on board. Now look at the dress code. Look at civil servants. Look at civil servants. I know some of you might think that this is a conference of bankers. No, they are civil servants in Imo State. Civil servants in Imo State. Look at what they look like. Now training. We cherish training a lot to upgrade the competencies of our staff. And that is why, you know, this issue of e-governance. E-governance is the ultimate destination of any progressive system. And because of that, we have to build a new computer center in the state. It is now functional. We are training civil servants in batches of 120 per batch. This is the first batch on that training. You can see it. We expect that by the close of 2016, almost 70% of civil servants would have been computer literate, and we will be on course for e-governance. I also bought and distributed computer to ministries, departments, and agencies. Look at you can see me distributing computers to one of the ministries. Now, back gate. When we came on board, the gate to the secretariat was located along the busy Port Harcourt road. That road is always associated with heavy gridlock. So we had to relocate the secretariat gate to the back. You can see the back gate. You can see the back gate, to and fro, the back gate. That's what it is. That's where we are. I want to say this. All my colleagues that have spoken earlier have always ended up by thanking their staff. Who are these their staff? They are my staff. I train them and send them to these ministries. Without this staff, they wouldn't have attained the height they attend. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Head of Service of Imo State. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now want to go grassroots. I'm inviting the man who takes dividends of democracy to the fourth tier of government. Accountant, marketer, former honorable member of the Imo State House of Assembly, Honorable Obulimba Innocent Eke, Honorable Commissioner, Community Government Council. Obulimba.
To God be the glory for a day like this, in Jesus' name. Your Excellency, panel of judges, all protocols observed. I am Honorable Obulimba Innocent Eke, the Commissioner for Community Government, Culture and Traditional Affairs. My ministry is a new ministry, a curation about 4 years old now. I'm going to tell you what it has done this past 4 years. It is indeed a new and an ingenious curation, enabling Imo State to do old things in new ways. Unlike in other states of Nigeria, where they have 3 tiers of government, in Imo State, we have added one more. We now have 4 tiers of government to address the undesirable gap between the top tier and the grassroots, the people. We achieve this using a homegrown bottom-top approach to governance called Ohasherism. Contributions from the 644 autonomous communities are reported upwards via the community liaison officers of the communities. But now, we are reporting via the government liaison officers of the 305 INEC wards. We also have the conviction, and it is true, that CGC has come to stay. To this effect, we built this complex for the people. We prefer to call it the People's House. It has the CGC Secretariat, the People's Hall. It also has this adjoining 68-room story office building. It's along Owerri Aba Road, very close to the masses by Akachi Road Junction. This is a typical CGC office, taking governance to the very doorsteps of the autonomous communities. We facilitated the erection, the setting up of 644 CGC offices across Imo State. This is a typical CGC meeting in progress. The traditional ruler, Ndiezim, they are the chairman of it. The secretary, youth leader, woman leader, and the community liaison officer are members. The executive secretary from the ministry doubles as the accounting officer. Thus far, my ministry has allocated substantial resources for empowerment, mobilization, development of the rural people through the concept of CGC. Data capture has gone beyond 85% as I speak with you. We have captured data from across the autonomous communities, and they are undergoing processing. Come August, we shall be launching Imo communities. They will now be on web-linked, access-controlled, one-stop shop of information. open to the world to